Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Let's thank our members first: Invictus, Crazy Blue Cuts, and Interceptor, Richardson, Danny Cage, and Rupert. And also there is one guy that he asked me to not reveal his name, but he actually became a four-time at the same time. I didn't even know that this was a thing in Patreon, the Foxhound Patreon, and he's basically giving me like four at the same time, Foxhound patrons. So thank you, man, if you are hearing this. It makes a lot of difference. You guys have no idea how much that helps, especially in these months that nothing is really happening, you know. Even though we have the anniversary and stuff, it's not something like out of the ordinary or anything like that. So yeah. So subscribe, be a member, be a patron. PayPal is in the description, and let's get into it. So today we are doing basically a second part for the mods videos that I did with the MiG-29, and we are flying out the F-15. So yeah, this mod is actually a little bit, a little bit better than the MiG-29 one. As you see, we even have a cockpit. So very cool, and the air brake opens up and stuff like that. So I will leave it in the description, and at the end of the video I will show how to install it. The flight model feels very similar, but it feels a little bit different. I don't know how, but it just does, you know. You see the gun is different. Obviously it's a Vulcan. You have the AIM-9s there, which are almost the same as the R60s that we had. And yeah, it's just, I am doing this live commentary, so it is basically a look into the future of War Thunder. Obviously, these, these mods, they're not like a perfect representation on what these aircraft will be, obviously, but that's not even the objective, right? So yeah, but the thing is just to show how it would look like, in the sense of just have fun with these aircraft, you know. Obviously this mod is based on these combat games, you know, so you have Pixie there and stuff like that, but it is a very cool mod just to have fun a little bit. I don't think it's an arcade flight model. It doesn't feel like an arcade flight model, but it might be. I might be wrong. And as you see, it's pretty arcadey in the sense of damage and the missiles. The missiles are, to be honest, this is a AIM-9L, right? But it is worse than the normal AIM-9L that we have. So it is just the way that it's supposed to be, like in a kind of just like an older version of the game, kind of, you know, that we didn't have any type of AIM-9Ls or anything like that, and they had to make their own models. So it feels a little bit different, but it might be on purpose, just because it is kind of a thing of Ace Combat thing, you know. Ace Combat is like this. The missile they don't pull that much, and the actual missiles, they kind of don't, like, they don't have a lead. You know what I mean? You know, they just go for the target. It's kind of funny actually how they work. But yeah, so hopefully soon in the game we will see this type of gameplay, you know. F-15s versus MiG-29s and such things like that. And a lot of people talk about how the F-15 in general is not on par with the MiG-29, in the sense of that the F-15 is superior than the MiG-29. But to be honest, a lot of people are comparing normally we have even a Su-33 there. Normally people are really comparing even the 90s F-15s with the APG-70 or even the APG-63 to the early 80s MiG-29s, which is just total nonsense, you know. These aircraft in the early 80s, they were very similar to each other, especially in many aspects, such as radar performance and stuff like that. I know the Su-27 would be more of a perfect kind of situation to be facing the F-15, but it's not like the MiG-29 would be just bad, you know. It is very much better in the performance itself, you know. I can feel it even in here, which is just a mod. that the aircraft feels a little bit sluggish. I don't know if it's just, you know, the way that everything works. And even in DCS, if you fly the F-15 and the MiG-29, it does feel a little bit more sluggish in general. You know, it's not something completely, you know, different or completely something that you can feel every time, but it is just that it's an aircraft that, even though it has a thrust weight of 1.0 if you want to, and depending on weight and other stuff, the MiG-29 is just a little bit more on that side of things, you know. And also, you have to remember that even if the F-15 is a little bit worse in the performance sides of things, the radar will be a little bit better, at least. In the early 80s, the initial APG-63s, it's difficult to find information about it. Obviously, they are classified and stuff. But the informations that I have are that they're about 10 to 15 kilometers more in range, 20 kilometers more, something like that, than the range of the N009, I think it's called, which is the radar on the MiG-29, you know. So the MiG-29 would basically detect a target and lock a target around 70, 80, 90 kilometers, a target such as a MiG-21, you know, a small target like that. And the F-15 would do that in basically 100 kilometers. And bomber-sized targets would be in the MiG-29 around 130, 120, and the F-15, depending on the target, would be 140 to 160, you know. So the actual difference is not that much, which makes you think that they are able to fight each other. There's another thing that the F-15 obviously has 2 more missiles initially than the MiG-29 in the sense of the radar-guided missiles. And as I said, the performance itself of the MiG-29 would be a little bit better. It has, depending on the version, but initially around 50 to 80 meters per second less than the MiG-29 of climb. So that obviously climb is not a perfect, you know, idea of performance on an aircraft, but it gives you kind of an idea of how it would perform, you know. Normally aircraft that have more climb rate will be a little bit better in the sense of dogfights and energy retention and all of that, you know. So yeah, I just think that the F-15, it is doable. It would be completely OP against the aircraft that we have right now, because even the F-16As, you know, the earlier ones, the MLD could still deal with them a little bit, but the F-15 would be just better, you know, obviously. So there is that, and obviously the reason that technically the F-16 would be a better option anyway to be added before, because there is more nations to be added with, you know. So there is that. But it's going to be fun to see this type of gameplay. A lot of people think they are super weapons and they are just amazing at everything. They are obviously more amazing than anything else that we've seen in the game. Obviously, we are going to another generation of aircraft, but they're still just normal jets, you know. They're just going to be more and more of what we have right now. So that will be fun. So yeah, let's try to destroy this. I mean, this F-14 is just completely making me look bad. Like, let me make him overshoot. Yeah, finally. I had to pay attention on what I was doing. Where is the last one? Su-33. Come on. Yeah, there you go. So a very cool mod, just to have a quick look. It does feel a little bit different. People were saying that it was the same in the as in the MiG-29 flight model, but it feels different. I don't know why, but it does just feel different. And apparently it's a M9M, not an E9L, but still, the model itself is basically the same. So yeah. Pretty cool, right? So yeah, let's show to you guys how to install the mod real quickly. So we have here, I will leave it in the description. Thank you, Avarik, for actually uploading this. Such a cool mod. So yeah, you just click download, and then you will receive the just the aircraft, you know, the files. It will be these files. And then you click on copy this. And then you go for your War Thunder, you know, thing. And you just go for paste, you know. So Control C, for example, or copy here. And then you go for paste here. And then it's done. So just one thing, make sure to have in game, the game itself needs to be shut down, you know, and then you start over again, obviously. And other thing, just leave an aircraft on the hangar just to make sure that it works properly, okay? But basically this is it. I hope you enjoyed, and I see you guys on the next one. So subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think about the F-15. I know a lot of people have an incredible feeling about this aircraft, you know, in the sense of being OP and stuff, and it will be very, very strong. But don't get me wrong, it's not the only aircraft that will be strong when more, oh my god, on more 4th generation aircraft is added. See you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.